Assuming I had failed that day, will that vehicle come to my house?
Well, Senate President, I don't want it to be like I'm trying to make a case, but I believe that this is a suspended senator, not someone who ceases to be a senator.
It is not unusual for the Senate to make mistake. We have the Committee on Judiciary and Legal Matters that will have been given the opportunity to review the report of the Ethics Committee so that they will not make this level of blunder.
You know one of the reasons why this country, Nigeria, don't fit move forward? It is because we as Nigerians, there is no limit to what we will tolerate as bad leadership. There is no nonsense we cannot take from our leaders. Nigerians will be like understanding girlfriend. No matter what they do to us, we go understand and we go be patient.
Have you ever wondered the trauma caused by that same woman on the other people she had accused in the past? None has been proven so far. You've not wondered. Do you even wonder the trauma caused to the 10th Senate and the image of the Senate with all these useless allegations?
Since the Federal High Court had restrained the Senate Ethics Committee from hearing the complaint against the embattled senator pending the determination of the motion on notice, the Senate ought to have stayed action in accordance with the rule of law. Joining us now on this show as we look at the 6-month suspension of Senator Natasha Akpabio is Senator Adisheye Ogunlewe, Nigeria's former Minister of Works and Housing and a former senator on the platform of the Alliance for Democracy, AD, in 1999 for the Lagos East constituency at the National Assembly. Good morning, Senator Ogunlewe, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning, viewers.
A cocktail of issues here. The Senate saying that it has the right under Section 60 of the Constitution to define its own rules and its own procedures. 2, the argument that this issue is not about sexual harassment, but that it is about gross misconduct. 3, the argument that the court had issued an ex parte injunction asking the Senate Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Petitions not to proceed with the sanctioning of Senator Udwan. And then the 4th part, the statement already put out there that there are established precedents, both from the High Court and the Federal and the Court of Appeal, showing that the Senate has no powers to either suspend a member or withhold salary payments to either a lawmaker or to the aides of a lawmaker. These are some of the principal things out there in the public, and I'm sure you are fully aware of them. But as someone who has been in that same Senate, what's your reaction?
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you, viewers. Yes. Well, it is not unusual for the Senate to make mistake. And we have a platform for senators in 1999 where we discussed this matter. And the structure of the Senate has provision to avoid this level of mistake. We have the Committee on Judiciary and Legal Matters that will have been given the opportunity to review the report of the Ethics Committee so that they will not make this level of blunder. One could see clearly that they went on a frolic and it was a self-serving report. They didn't believe that there have been senators before them and what has been the reaction of the judiciary to this level of suspension. Natasha is the 6th senator to be suspended, from JKF Waku to Omar Gege
To Ningi,
to Ali Ndume. And the court has frowned very vehemently to that kind of attitude. And they should have already known that what they are doing was just going on a heroic adventure, which could be prevented. And it is a pity. During our days in the Senate, we had elders, people who are old, who are mature that this sort of issue should have been discussed in-house. Like the relocation of seats is normal, but it is not when a senator is entering the chamber that you now tell the senator your seat has been changed. It is totally administratively wrong. If you are changing a seat, which is okay, you will have conveyed this decision to the senator prior to the resumption of the plenary, so that you will have known that, look, as I'm going in, they've changed my seat, and the session account will now show me the new seat. But for you, it is unconventional for you to just enter the chamber like that, and somebody tells you, look, this is not your seat has been changed. It is very unusual. It is a little bit of, somebody will be curious why this of this should happen at that level of responsibility. No, it is not right for them to take this decision. And Nigerians have seen that if Natasha goes to court, it is clear that you've gone outside your power and authority. You cannot strip the lady, this distinguished senator, for being a senator. It is not possible. It's not your responsibility. The senator was voted for under the Nigerian Constitution, and you are a minority. The majority in our constituency voted for her. How can you say they should not pay her salary? You are not the one determining her salary. It's the Revenue Mobilization and Allocation Commission that determines the salary of a senator. How does that not become your responsibility to say you will not be paid? Where constitutionally there is, under Section 111, a commission that is responsible for the provision of payment to senators. You said they should withdraw security. You are not the Inspector General of Police. That is the man responsible for deploying policemen to senators. So all these things they have done, honestly, they did it in a hurry. They should sit down and readdress it and make necessary adjustments. It cannot stand, definitely.
Thank you so much, sir, for this insight, especially from your experience. And I'm glad that for the last statement you made, where you said they were in a hurry.
Yes.
And so it would then pique the interest of a number of people that why the rush? If you want a due process to follow, why this happened in about 24 hours, despite the fact that there was a court order to actually suspend the proceedings, which maybe they said they were reserved or the court had no jurisdiction to determine how the Senate operates. So I'd like you to speak to that. And also, this Order 10, can you give us clarity on it, which she raised after she was asked to move her seat? Some people have said, irrespective of the fact that she raised Order 10 on privileges, she ought to have gone to her new seat in order to have been able to raise an order. Is that true? Whereas she said that Order 10 gives her the privilege to be able to raise, even if she were sitting on the floor or anywhere, as long as Order 10 was raised, she ought to have been heard and then a decision made.
So honestly, that is neither here nor there. There must be order in the Senate. And she, out of inexperience, she exposed herself to that level of embarrassment. What normally she should have done was to run quickly to the seat and continue. But when you insist on talking from a seat not allocated to you, I think the Senate President has, authority to debar her from talking. But that Section 10 is so crucial that under any condition, if anybody raised that order, you must listen to the senator, but not when you are not properly seated. She should have just run to that place and talk. Nobody could have prevented her. But she shot herself on the foot by insisting on remaining at a position not allocated to her.
Mr. President, the latter part of number 6 talks of withdrawal of all security details for the duration of her suspension. Mr. President, I want to believe that we still feel we are one, and any injury to any of us should be injury to all. I believe withdrawal of security aids at this moment from a senator is not the best way to go. And we should not really create a precedence where the moment something happens with a member of the National Assembly, the security agencies will say withdraw the security aids. Because this could be a problem to us later. So I just want us to reflect on this.
If your security is given to you as a leverage to your being a senator, then there will be no need for them to hang around with you when you are no longer a senator. In other words, if you are no longer a president of the Senate, you cannot continue to sit in the car of the president of the Senate. I was with you in the villa the day you declared support for me, and I saw you off as a sign of respect as the outgoing Senate president. When we got to the vehicle, you just pointed out and said, "This will be withdrawn from me tomorrow. I will come to your house." after you win. so if you are telling me that, assuming I had failed that day, will that vehicle come to my house?
Well, Mr. Senate President, I don't want it to be like I'm trying to make a case, but I believe that this is a suspended senator, not someone who ceases to be a senator. It's suspension.
But without arguing with
That's
you,
my case, yes.
Without arguing with you, let me remind you, you are a landlord in the Senate or in the National Assembly. Do you remember a senator that was called Oton Zeribe? A distinguished senator who was one of the richest people in southeastern Nigeria. And when he entered into the Senate, he carried along on his shoulders his wealth. May his soul rest in peace. When he was suspended, the Senate took steps to withdraw all his security. And when he refused to apologize to the Senate, he stayed out of the Senate for over 2.5 years until the end of that tenure. We are starting a journey now. And the journey depends on your attitude.
President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, seized the auspicious moment of this year's International Women's Day to speak about the damning sexual harassment allegation leveled against him by Senator Natasha Akpabio, representing Kogi Central. Defending himself, Akpabio said the spurious allegations from the female senator has left him and other senators traumatized.
Have you ever wondered the trauma caused by that same woman on the other people she had accused in the past? None has been proven so far. You've not wondered. Do you even wonder the trauma caused to the 10th Senate and the image of the Senate with all these useless allegations? I've refrained myself from making a statement. Look at these beautiful women. They've come across me so many times. Have I ever harassed any of you?
Akpabio has come under harsh criticism since Akpabio accused him of sexual harassment. The Senate President denied the allegation, saying he was well brought up by his mother to know better.
I was raised by a woman who lost her husband at the age of 22. My late mother died in the year 2000, and she was the only father I knew. She raised me well.
Akpabio's continued leadership of the Senate has been questioned, many asking him to step down for an independent investigation into the alleged sexual harassment. The Senate President called on women to desist from weaponizing their gender.
Women should not always weaponize their gender. It is not in all instances that you use your gender as a major weapon for sentiments, as a weapon for pity. I have 4 daughters. I have a wife.
It's not the first time such allegation will be leveled against Akpabio. In 2020, a former managing director of the Niger Delta Development Commission, Joy Mune, made similar allegation against him when he served as Minister of Niger Delta Affairs. Akpabio has denied the allegation as well. He said Mune became angry with him after failing security check on her qualification and that she should expect to hear from his lawyers soon.
My other sister, the one they sometimes refer to as Joy Nunye, I like to mention her name because She'll be hearing from my lawyer anytime in the next 1 week. Crime never dies. When I received a letter from the late Abakari, Chief of Staff, that the certificates were questionable and she did not do national youth service, I wrote to the NYC. The NYC responded, and so I quickly changed her before it became a scandal. As soon as she was changed, hell was let loose.
Akpabio asked Nigerians to exercise patience on the allegations and await the outcome in court.
Okay, Nigerians, those of you who support Senator Natasha, those in support of suspension, those in support of Senate President Akpabio, make una come, I have little information for you. You know one of the reasons why this country, Nigeria, no fit move forward? It is because we as Nigerians, there is no limit to waiting we fit tolerate as bad leadership. There is no nonsense we cannot take from our leaders. Nigerians will be like understanding girlfriend. No matter what thing they do to us, we go understand and we go dey patient. And you know one thing about Nigerian leaders? They go continue to dey test your ability to take bad leadership and nonsense. And the more you show them say you are ready to understand without pushing back, the more the situation go get worse. So if you've been thinking say 9th Senate they bad, the 10th one will show you say there's something called worse. If you've been thinking say Buhari bad, the person will go come after Buhari, go tell you say no worry, now maybe they turn fura for Buhari, I go show you, I go deal with you now. If this video too long, I go cut and post part 2 and 3 because I've already posted part 1. You can go and listen to it. And pardon me if I speak too fast. You see this issue in the National Assembly between Senator Natasha and Senator Godswill Akpabio. I don't tell when I say you must look at the bigger picture. That problem is a symptom of a bigger problem. Nigeria, we are in serious trouble. So for those of now when they talk say Senator Natasha was with Senator for where Senator Natasha will be okay. She's an elite. She even fought to win her election to come to that Senate. The problem when Natasha they talk so, it concerns me and you average Nigerian pass Senator Natasha. But you do not know. A situation where National Assembly was supposed to they carry out oversight, checks and balance over other arms of government have been completely hijacked when there is no meaningful opposition. The senator from Abuja, Senator Ireti, she said that the Senate is not opposition friendly. You know the meaning of that? That is why Nigeria can never move forward. Normally, we they hear now say Nigeria, see the people they post picture, we stand with Senator Natasha. No, Nigeria, we must leave social media talk about problem and put up a physical presence to exercise our fundamental democratic rights to peaceful assembly in that National Assembly, to demand for better governance and for the right thing to be done. Senate said they don't go on break, say they go resume on Monday or Tuesday. On a normal day, to say Nigerians, we love ourselves. As they resume for that place, Akpabio and other senators supposed to meet all of us at the gate of the National Assembly. Yes, because that National Assembly is not Akpabio's house. It's not any senator's house. It is the people's parliament where we send leaders for our own good. And we must be able to hold them accountable without fear.